The Trillionaire Life of Charles III. What if the richest man in Britain never appears on any billionaire list, yet quietly controls a $1 trillion system? No receipts, no balance sheet, no expiration date, just power. Older than money itself. The crown behind the curtain. The crown is not jewelry, it's a switch that turns history on and off. When Charles III became king, the world watched the ceremony. Gold robes, ancient chants, cameras flashing, but the real transfer didn't happen in public. It happened in private rooms, behind sealed doors, inside legal structures no ordinary person ever touches. Because Charles didn't just inherit a throne, he inherited access to land, access to money flows, access to influence that doesn't appear on paper. And once you understand that difference, everything changes. Why Trillionaire is not an exaggeration. Calling Charles a trillionaire sounds exaggerated, but here's the distinction that changes everything. He does not own $1 trillion. He oversees a $1 trillion structure. The royal family's collective net worth is estimated at roughly $28 billion as of 2025. That includes crown estates, private properties, art collections, jewelry vaults, centuries of accumulated assets. But even that massive figure barely scratches the surface, because the true wealth lies in state-linked assets like the crown estate, assets that generate enormous revenue but are not privately owned in the traditional sense. This setup allows the monarchy to enjoy extraordinary privilege without the burdens private billionaires face. No personal purchase costs, no personal maintenance bills, no personal taxation at the same scale. It is wealth without friction. Charles III's personal fortune, the official number. Now let's separate the system from the man. According to the 2025 Sunday Times Rich List, King Charles III's personal net worth stood at £640 million, roughly $850 million. That ranked him around the 238th richest person in the United Kingdom. On paper, that might not sound shocking until you realize something important. This makes Charles significantly wealthier than Queen Elizabeth II, whose fortune at her death was estimated between £370 million and £500 million. And that's just the conservative estimate. The real number, and why it's hidden, a deeper 2023 investigation estimated Charles' true private fortune at £1.815 billion, about $2.3 billion. This broader valuation includes assets under beneficial ownership, assets that are technically tied to the crown, but personally benefit Charles. That breakdown includes £142 million in investments, £330 million in private properties, $80 million for Balmoral, $250 million for Sandringham, $27 million in racehorses, $100 million in rare stamps, $24 million in art, $533 million in jewelry, and over $6 million in vehicles. The reason estimates vary so wildly is simple. Conservative methods exclude crown-linked assets. Broader methods include effective control and tax exemptions. Royal wealth was never designed to be transparent. The longest wait for power in British history. Charles did not stumble into this position. He waited 73 years. He was the longest-serving heir apparent in British history, holding that role for over 64 years. That wait gave him something rare. Time to observe, time to prepare, time to build. During those decades, Charles transformed the Duchy of Cornwall, once a sleepy historic estate, into a billion-dollar portfolio. Through sustainable farming, real estate, and business ventures, it generated $20 to $30 million annually. Before becoming king, his net worth hovered around $100 million. Then everything changed. The tax-free $500 million transfer. When Queen Elizabeth II passed away in September 2022, Charles inherited an estimated $500 million in estates, art, and jewelry. And here's the part that separates royal wealth from ordinary wealth. It was completely tax exempt. No inheritance tax, no capital gains tax, no assessment. This exemption exists because of a 1993 agreement allowing monarch-to-monarch transfers to bypass taxation, a privilege unavailable to every ordinary British citizen. The transfer happened quietly, instantly, legally, and it reshaped Charles's financial position overnight. A life engineered for zero friction. To understand what trillionaire life really means, you have to step inside Charles's daily routine. This is not indulgence, it is optimization. His day begins around 7 or 8 in the morning. Breakfast is simple: homemade bread, fresh fruit, organic juices. Then come the details that sound absurd. Until you understand the system, staff squeeze exactly 1 inch of toothpaste onto his toothbrush. When he travels, he brings his own toilet paper, his own breakfast box, custom amenities not for luxury, for predictability. Every possible inconvenience is eliminated. Work without pause. Official duties begin at 10 a.m. Meetings, state papers, government dispatches in red leather boxes. Charles frequently skips lunch to maintain momentum. Afternoons may include tea if meals are missed. Evenings often extend into the early morning. He is known to write letters until 4 a.m., personally responding to issues ranging from climate change to community concerns. This routine continued even during cancer treatment, fitness, discipline, and endurance. At 76 years old in 2025, Charles maintains a strict fitness routine. He exercises twice daily, squats, pull-ups, strength training. These habits persisted through cancer therapy and allowed him to maintain one of the heaviest schedules in the royal family. In 2025 alone, Charles carried out 533 royal engagements, more than any other royal, including Princess Anne, long considered the hardest working member of the family. He achieved this while undergoing weekly cancer treatment. Whatever one thinks of monarchy, that level of endurance is undeniable. The true cost of the Crown official royal household spending in 2024 to 25 totaled £106.7 million. After supplementary income, net spending was £85.2 million. The sovereign grant for 2025 to 26 rose to £132 million, driven by record Crown estate profits. That funding covers core operations, Buckingham Palace renovation staff, travel, hospitality. But here's what rarely gets discussed: when security, transport, and hidden costs are included, the true annual cost of the monarchy approaches £510 million, over £500 million per year. Land, power, and historical scale. The British royal family collectively controls 6.6 billion acres of land worldwide. That is more than the Catholic Church, the Walton family, any private landowner in history. Much of it is symbolic Commonwealth land, but the scale matters. It represents historical reach, institutional legitimacy, enduring power. How Charles compares to other royals compared to Middle Eastern monarchs like Saudi Arabia's King Salman, estimated 18 billion Brunei's Sultan, 20 to 30 billion. Charles appears modest. Europe's richest royal, Prince Hans Adam II of Liechtenstein, is worth over 12 billion, yet Charles's strength is different. He does not rely on oil or private corporations. He sits atop a hybrid system, neither public nor private, that funnels wealth through history itself. A monarch facing a modern world. The 21st century is not kind to inherited power. Republican movements grow louder. Costs face scrutiny. Tradition feels fragile. Charles understands this, which is why he plays a softer game. Less display, more sustainability, more diplomacy, opening palace doors, praying with former rivals, projecting humility, not because he wants applause, because relevance is now the currency of survival, and losing relevance would collapse everything. Power without ownership. Here's the final truth most people never hear. Charles III is not the richest man alive. He is something stranger. A man who controls wealth he doesn't own, a system he didn't create, a legacy he cannot escape, surrounded by gold, bound by duty, every privilege balanced by scrutiny, every luxury shadowed by expectation. This is not freedom. This is inheritance at its highest cost. If stories like this pull you in, where power hides in silence, like this video. Subscribe to Luxury Universe, where wealth, legacy, and influence are revealed slowly, and explore more videos on this channel. There's always more behind the curtain.